Okay, I want to talk about Elizabeth April and other psychics for a minute. I just saw a video by her, and I think she was on Gaia TV, which is amazing. I love to see, psychics and stuff who are on, channels and stuff like that. I used to subscribe to Gaia TV, and I used to like watch it, but I don't anymore. But a lot of those shows like I love and stuff, and so this is what I'll say about her. I watch a lot of her stuff, and there is a lot of distortion in her channels because she is leading people into fear and negativity. She talks a lot about extraterrestrial like wars going on. Like there's like this big war going on, and there's reptilians that could possibly take over the planet, and they were here first, and all of that stuff. And so I do feel like there's like a little bit of truth to her channels. Like she obviously talks about the alien hybridization program, and she talks about the Anunnaki and things like that. And so I don't necessarily think that her channels are wrong. I think she is channeling into a dimension that exists. However, do I believe that she is channeling accurate information for this dimension? No. Because again, it leads people into fear and negativity or confusion or feeling uneasy, or like it's there's a lot of fear mongering. So like that's what I want to say about her. That's why I don't mention her. That's why I don't endorse her. But she is a psychic. She is a starseed. I want to say that. Like there's duality within people. However, every time I watch, a channel of hers, there's so much distortion within it that I can't even repost it, because my channel is actually teaching people how to find distortion. And this is why I endorse Geoprism and Spirituality of Sam, because both of those psychics, not only are their predictions coming true like mine have been coming true, but also they lead people out of fear and negativity. They really teach people how to discern who to listen to right now. And that's like what I'm talking about with JK Ultra as well. We're learning with her that the numbers on your platform don't mean anything on whether or not you're actually getting truth or not. And we're seeing this with Elizabeth April right now. So what that tells me, the fact that JK Ultra and Elizabeth April like have these bigger numbers on these platforms, and people like me, Spirituality of Sam, Geoprism don't. I mean, like they do a little bit more even than I do, but they have even less than like Elizabeth April or JK Ultra. And we play this numbers game down here that like if somebody has like a lot of like numbers to their profile or whatever it is, then like they're telling truth right now. But that is not what I'm seeing at all. I'm seeing the smaller creators actually carry more truth and more wisdom. I'm seeing people who aren't even psychic channels, like they just have intuitive information. There's people that I follow on here that I'm absolutely obsessed with. That I repost all the time, who carry divine knowledge that I actually resonate with more than I do with like these types of like bigger creators with these like channels. And again, that's what I'm trying to show people is like, this is not a numbers game. This is a mind and a soul game. And the name of the game right now is to get over the matrix programming. Especially if you want to manifest, especially if you're a starseed, you have to cohere your beliefs and your frequency to the same timeline. And what Elizabeth April does and what JK Ultra does, 1010 as I say this, 2, 3, 4 on the clock, is they separate. They are separating us. So JK Ultra just went down the timeline of like separating us from all these beliefs. She's completely like given them up. Elizabeth April separates us from like hope and faith and feeling safe and comfortable within our own brains, because you're just trading off one fear for another fear. And we're supposed to be rewiring out of fear entirely. So that's why I'm like, if you're into Elizabeth April, you're still rewiring your brain into fear. So there's something that you have to look into in yourself. Like, or JK Ultra, if you take the fact that you should just get rid of all these fucking beliefs, like there's fear within you that's still instilled within you that you have to personally transmute. You have to transmute fear. And that's why I'm like, you have to be so discerning on who you're listening to, because as a person who watches tarot readings, I know what it's like to not be able to take what resonates and like leave what doesn't. Like I have a hard time, even me, I have a hard time like discerning that out and being like, no, I don't resonate with what this, like I'll just take the whole tarot reading. And so I know that people are doing that with these psychics. Like they're just taking everything that they say and they're giving into fear. And and that's what I'm trying to say is you guys don't even realize that you're rewiring your brains just into a different fear lane instead of the one that we're in right now. So it's like, that's where you have to be cognizant and discerning and so careful of what you're doing with your neural pathways in your brain right now. there is a lot of evidence too, and I've talked about this, that there were like little seeds planted on Reddit forums and QAnon pages and things like that. We have proof from the Epstein files that this was, going on. So that also discredits anybody who is talking about the reptilian timeline right now, because we know for a fact that there were little seeds planted with those types of things. So, in the big garden of what we're doing right now, those are seeds of doubt. I talk about this. Those are all seeds of doubt. So you have to be really careful about the seeds that you're planting in your garden right now. And even if you're listening to her, and you're not discerning, you can start to pick that stuff up if you're listening to people like that a lot. 555 on the clock as I say this. Now, I want to say she's at the place that she's meant to be with her soul. She's doing everything that she's supposed to be. That's just her soul age. There's nothing against psychics right now. We're all on different timelines. It's just that some of us have not gotten out of the fear programming. Some of us have not gotten out of the matrix. And what I've realized is that it seems like it's like life experience that kind of sets apart whether you're telling the truth or not. It seems like the people who've kind of gone through a little bit more darkness or pain have gotten more accurate truth towards this time. So that just because that's like because that's the law of polarity. That's like in your soul contract. Like that is the most critical law right now to the universe, and what we're experiencing is the law of polarity, the law of karma, duality, hermeticism, in and out, up and down, black and white, one side is this side, one side is that side, right? And that's actually like what we're getting out of in our conscious awareness, is we're getting out of that polar state. We're trying to like mend it together, right? And so if you are watching Elizabeth April or people like this, and somebody goes into fear or negativity, what I recommend is that you always rewire your brain into the alternative timeline. So if somebody's like, oh my gosh, these reptilians are like scary and they could take over and they're running our government, the alternative to that is that we're actually humans in this reality right now, and we have awareness, right, that we are other planetary souls, but we also have awareness that we don't shapeshift, that we are humans, and we don't turn into Arcturian beings, we don't turn into Nordic beings, we don't turn into blue avians, we stay human, right? But we're channeling and we're receiving information and all this stuff. It's the same thing with the reptilians, and that's where people again go off on these like crazy timelines with that. And they then dehumanize people. And so like that's how I know mine is truth, because my channels humanize people. They help me be compassionate towards people. They are getting me out of the fear programming of the matrix. They are doing all the things that we are supposed to be doing and we're going to have to do. We have to get out of all this programming. And so be careful that you're not trading off one fear, which is that this place is going to shit and Donald Trump, and friends are just going to totally screw us, into another one that they're reptilians and they're totally going to screw us. Do you know what I'm saying? Or just even believing that they're reptilians dehumanizes them, and I've been saying this for a very long time. And I've been very solid on this exact channel, and I will not shut up about it, because what I'm realizing my channels do compared to other psychics based on my observations is that I ground people back into this reality. My channels are very grounding. I am here to tell you to not be afraid, to not give in to fear, to get out of the programming, to not listen to people who might not have other life experience. That's the thing, is they just don't have the life experience to be able to apply the knowledge as to what's going to be effective and what is actually right for our neurobiology right now and what we're supposed to be doing. And that's just my gifts. That's the gifts that God gave me because of all the darkness that I went through. So the more darkness you went through, the more truth that I'm seeing people have right now. And it's a lot of smaller creators or people who aren't even in the spiritual community. I'm seeing there's a lot of mom and dads, or just regular people who have really, really divine wisdom and knowledge. And those are the people that I follow. So, I just, again, want people to be discerning when they're listening to psychics or anybody. And also, we're not supposed to just take things from one person. So it's not just take one thing from me, but you need to ground into yourself and humanize people is my rule of thumb. If it makes you scared, anxious, confused, anything like that, it is not truth, and we're not supposed to be doing that with our brains right now. So that's my recommendation. That's how I feel about psychics.